And then your mom walks in there and says, "Oh, you need to go to bed earlier tonight because you need to get back used to going to school."
Gasp! Welcome to today's Tank Talk. I'm Keith.
And I'm Mikey.
And this show, I got Brandon spit something in my eye.
I didn't spit something in your eye. It's probably a gnat.
That's true. Sorry. This show is sponsored by Michael Waltrip Racing and the number 5. Thank you for watching.
You're mocking these.
I'm not mocking.
There are people out there right now that are watching it thinking, oh, that guy's got good style.
There's so few people
wearing that $30 new, like this. If you took if you looked at just my top part, since I'm nude under this.
Yes, we both are.
If you just looked at the top, I feel like you could say I'm not nude because there are people out there that think
I'm not going to say that.
God.
I am nude underneath the shirt.
If you pulled this and looked and said, how much for that style? You would pay easily over $50. And that's not even shipping.
I think most people aren't impressed by a $50 style.
It's better than your 50-cent shirt you got on.
It is. This is a cheap shirt. This shirt probably came from the Walmart. I bought this shirt whenever I went to Brazil.
I was really hoping that it would be like a really nice shirt, so you could go back and forth with me.
It's obviously a T-shirt with a pocket on it.
Well, I mean, you look at the pants that have holes in them, and you pay a couple $100 for it. You might have paid $200 for it.
I paid $350 for this worn-out pocket Walmart T-shirt. Anyway, we're not here to make fun of Brandon's wardrobe choice. You can make fun of mine too. I'm not saying that I look great. I'm just saying that what you're wearing now is not conventionally accepted to be normal upper body wear.
I think it is.
It's not though. By the mass majority, it's not.
If I wore this out, people would say that guy's successful.
If you wore it out here, maybe.
He's got
in South Carolina
2 companies on his shirt. I barely can get one company on my shirt.
That's right. Okay, again, we're not here to make fun of Brandon's clothing. I just started off with a sponsorship thing, and he got
getting spit in the eye.
And something flew in my eyeball. Anyway, where do shirts go? They go on your back. Back to school season is what we're talking about today. At the time this video comes out, the back to school commercials will be in full swing. Mm-hmm. The shelves of your local stores will be full of back to school goodies: notebooks, pencils, backpacks,
pepper spray.
Yes. Lots of pepper spray. I remember buying copious amounts of pepper spray when I went back to school.
The new glue stick. That's their slogan.
Pepper spray, the new glue stick. Oh, God, that's a good one. But our back to school experiences over the course of our lives, that's what we're talking about today. They were very different, I'm sure, because our school situations were very different up until we went to college together. So, what was back to school time like for little Brandon?
Oh, it was horrible. I remember just sitting there. Everything's cool. You're just playing some video games or reading some NASCAR books. Just like any little good boy or girl.
As all children do.
And then your mom walks in there and says, "Oh, you need to go to bed earlier tonight because you need to get back used to going to school."
Gasp!
And then you realize that the summer is gone. And you realize, in a week, I'm going to have to go to bed every night early and wake up. Or I'm going to have to go to bed at a regular time and face the consequences. Because I think the problem is not at night having to go to bed earlier. It's knowing that I'm going to have to wake up at 6:45.
That's right.
Every day now. And I also remember it was ruined for me. Like summer as a child was ruined for me whenever there was a drumstick commercial. Not like the drum set.
Like a drum line? Like
the Nestle drumstick.
Oh.
The ice cream bar.
Yeah.
And in the video, there's just like this old guy and this child there, and they're doing something with the ice cream. But then the voiceover is like, "Summer's only 90 days this year." And at that point, I went, whoa.
That's when you blow your mind. You feel like summer's a whole eternity.
And I thought, no, it's got to be more than that. And then I started looking at it, and I was like, okay, we get out like May 27th.
I started doing the calculations.
And then I started thinking we go back like August 10th or like August 15th. And I'm like, it's not even 90 days.
I remember being convinced whenever they would say like, "Oh, and we'll see you again on August 15th, whatever." I remember thinking every year it's getting shorter. They're taking more away from us.
It really was
I
getting
felt like it was
shorter. Because I know people that would get out like middle of June, and then they're going back the first week of August. And I just thought, sucks to go to a public school.
Yeah, I didn't go to a public school either. So, but as far let's see, did you do any back to school shopping?
Yes, we would go shopping, but then we wouldn't use most of the stuff on the list. So I got to a point where I was like, "Mom, don't buy me glue. I don't need this."
Right.
Or I can fill this project.
I remember that being the case as well. That as I got older, there was less requirements. But like you're in the first grade, and your mom gets a sheet from school because we had book day.
Yeah.
So you go to school like a week early. You buy all your books from the school, and then you get your list from your teacher. Then you go have a week to get it. Then you'd be back for school. And I remember that the sheet was like 50 glue sticks. Like, we'll be using a lot of glue this year. Mm-hmm. Like a tub of glitter. Like, and you gotta buy all that stuff as a parent because you don't know if they're going to use it or not. You don't want your kid to be the only schmuck in class without a tub of glitter when the teacher says break it out and grab a handful to eat.
My school, they used to always get upset with me because I got to a point where we'd always bring folders. And I never brought anything that was wrong. But people started bringing like Harry Potter ones and all. So they were like, you need to bring like the plain folders. They can't have any pictures or anything on there.
No witchcraft, please.
But little did they know that as like regular students can sit there and say like, "Oh man, I can't draw Harry Potter on here." Brandon loved NASCAR. And you know what it takes to write NASCAR stuff? It's just being able to spell sponsors out.
That's right.
So on my notebooks, I would just have these I'd have my Dell Jr. notebook for history. And I would just like draw number 8 like on his car. Then I would just draw all of his sponsors on there. Then like I had my own where I drove like my own number and then just started writing. And so like my teacher would just look and be like, why does he have this?
Your teacher was taking it to like the PTO meetings. Like, we've got a kid who's going around the system and bringing his not plain folders.
And then they got upset because one day I found like the NASCAR, like the coolers that you're supposed to have, but I thought this can be my lunchbox. And my parents were like, yeah, that makes sense. Plus it's way cheaper to get this giant cooler than it is to buy this small little like lunchbox. So I started bringing that. And then one day they realized that like the little Budweiser, like Bud Polo Award was on there.
Uh-oh.
And then my teachers were like, you need to get rid of that. And then one of they were like, you can just be like your friend over there and just take a Sharpie. And I was like, I'm not going to ruin this lunchbox. Yeah. And I went and told it my dad, and he was like, I know, we'll fix that. So then we just cut out this little thing of duct tape and like put it on the Bud Polo Award.
But everybody, like, I just like the idea that you can't bring your Budweiser cooler to school because beer appears in it. A couple of cold ones will appear in there during lunch, and you'll be drinking.
I guess I was gonna have that like little Bud Polo Award on there, and just some second graders gonna think, man, I need a cold one.
I similarly hated going back to school, especially like elementary, middle school, and all that stuff, just because I don't like back to school shopping. Because if you were to ask Lizzie, she would have been like, ooh, it's my favorite time of year. It's like double Christmas because I love notebooks and Sharpies. And I'm not mocking her. I'm just mocking her ideas. Mm-hmm. But I don't feel the same way. I mean, I like a nice new Sharpie, but she just, I get a new folder and a new backpack, and I'll be so organized, and she just loved that sort of stuff. But I don't care. Like, I enjoyed having a folder or give me a new... I did enjoy a binder with some cool, like, tactical pockets on it. I felt like those were a lot cooler, but eventually those fell out of style, and I became the uncool guy with the big old binder. But I just hated it. I hated back to school. Always felt like the summer was getting shorter, and shorter. And it was just like... It's like being punched in the nuts every time you saw a back to school ad. And, like, you just don't want to watch TV anymore.
Wish that was a commercial for, like, Kmart. Like, are you tired of this? And just going like, oh, it's school. And just
somebody giving you a swift punch to the
But then, like, at Kmart, you would either have, like, a cup on. So he would, like, punch and be like, my hand. Or, like, he would, like, I don't know why he's uppercutting you. But then, like, Mr. T would, like, grab his fist and, like throw him.
Nah, fool. Kmart's where you get the good stuff for back to school. I pity the fool who tries to punch a kid in the gonads at Kmart.
Then you have like the Mr. T jewelry aisle.
Go back to school with bling chains and a mohawk. But luckily, things like that change as you get older. You go to college, back to school is a lot more fun. You get to go see your friends. There's no requirements. You don't have to buy a single notebook if you don't want to. You probably fail. Well, I might have failed.
See, I think that's the problem. A lot of people, they think that college is like a lot harder. And I think like in some areas, or like in some ways, it may be more difficult.
Because it's easier to make it harder for yourself.
Yeah. And I think that the problem lies, a lot of people, they think, I need a job in this area. So then they take those courses, but they also hate those courses. Like for me, I was going to be a marketing major. I go to the School of Business. And then once I started taking like math courses, I realized, wow, I absolutely hate having to do this math. Like what I love is just the idea of talking to people. So then I switched over to communications and just got like a minor in marketing. So yeah, like I don't have a fancy like the paper that says like, yep, the best thing in the world I'm good at is marketing. Then I'm good at talking or whatever. But at the same time, the courses I take, I enjoy it. Like pretty much every semester, there's maybe one class that I really hate going to, and I think, well, I have to go to this because I want to graduate.
That's a lot of the battle.
And I think that's just because if you do it right, even though you might be writing a 20-page paper, or even though you might be giving a 30-minute presentation, you're doing it about something you love. Whereas in elementary school, there's not that much freedom, because it's kind of like you have to learn all of these things, whether you want them or not. And I remember thinking, I'm not going to use this ever. And people saying, you never know. And I'm like, no, I know.
The only thing I remember from the 4th grade is, I remember all 50 states in song form. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to recite them now.
People they've already moved a little.
They scrubbed way past that. But sadly for myself and for you, this is your last back to school season. Mm-hmm. And I had my last back to school season a year ago. So now every day is back to school when I wake up and realize I go to work. Mm-hmm. And so that's a good feeling. Not to bring us way down in this video. So do you have anything else to say about going back to school?
I would say that don't throw your stuff out whenever you leave school.
Right.
But if you're around people who do, like if people don't take this knowledge, then the people around them should go and take their stuff after they leave.
Right.
Because I hate seeing people waste stuff. But what I love is being able to take the stuff that people have wasted and make money or make people happy.
That's a two-edged sword.
Yes.
I hate to see you do it, but if you do it, I'm going to capitalize on it.
Yeah, I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave your stuff behind.
So I can pick it up.
It's just like Jordan, I got her this like really nice ring. And whenever people see it, they're always like, oh, where'd you get that ring? And she's like, well, Brendan got it for me. And they're like, where's he working? And she's like,
I wish somebody would say that about something I did.
He was working maintenance and just found it on the ground.
Hey!
Then they're like, old garbage ring.
I mean, if you take that out, if you don't tell that story, it is a bit nicer.
What I did love is this past, not this past week, because this is going to come out later, but when this was recorded, like last week when we went to Charlotte, there was like, people were like, oh, I just really love what you're wearing. And she was like, guess where I found it? And they were like, TJ Maxx. And she was like, you've met her in the garbage. And they were like, oh, this is nice.
The delivery, hopefully that's exactly how it was. Just in the garbage.
But like full disclaimer, it wasn't like she grabbed it and said, oh, once I knock all the rats out of this, it'll look nice.
When she said that, I pictured her wearing lettuce that she had sewn together out of the dumpster. But I assume she wasn't.
It's kind of like, this is the same way if you go to a Goodwill and they just had a pile of clothes there. And you picked up and said like, oh, like I would actually argue that this was cleaner than your typical Goodwill.
Our most loyal listeners will have already listened to the Dumpster Diving podcast, so you need not explain yourself to them. And if you haven't seen that, go back. I call it a podcast, but it's a video. That's what we're doing.
Vodcast.
So, back to school. Remember, the shirts belong on your back, and you have to go back to school. And remember to catalog your memories of going back to school, so one day you can have your own YouTube show, and you can talk about it with one of your best buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Or best buddy, really. I would have to probably say that. Especially since we're on camera and this is being recorded.
Yes.
Do you have a fun fact for us to leave with? We were talking about bananas earlier.
Yes. Craisins are delicious.
And that's a fact.
The banana fun fact, though, is that bananas are curved because they grow towards the sun.
That's true.
So if the sun ever leaves, we'll just have
Straight bananas.
Yeah.
Just poor straight bananas. Look forward to that when the sun leaves. And as you
During the eclipse.
Yeah, during the eclipse, all the bananas will straighten out, and you can, over the sound of wailing and gnashing of teeth, you can have a straight banana. But we'll see you in the next Tank Talk.
Yes.
Bye.